Hello, YouTube. Welcome back. It's Cryptbeards XVII, episode... Look at the title. I don't know what episode it is. I'm just recording from the beginning of the live stream, so, you'll have to do a little bit of legwork. Well, it's going to be eyeball work. Maybe a bit of finger work if you have to manipulate the mouse or the keyboard, but it's certainly not going to be legwork. Then again, maybe you have had the misfortune to be born without your upper limbs and have to use your feet for everything. I mean, people do painting. People do manage to do incredible things with their feet when they're pushed to it. But anyway, regardless, that's a little bit perhaps of a tangent. Let's get back into the action, shall we? Let's take a look at what's going on in the fortress. Nighty-night, Super Chaser. You get yourself some sweet, sweet sleep. So, here's the entryway. All's looking pretty well here. We've got some people in the trading depot. I don't know if I've traded with them. I think I have. Did we not just buy everything they had for some spiked wooden balls? I think that was what happened. The barracks is still going. We've actually got people training in there now because I've activated them, which I hadn't done before. So the last time we sent a military out to defend the fortress, they were entirely untrained. Absolutely. All they had was their initial wits and their fists. No weapons, no training, nothing. So that could somewhat explain how they were torn to shreds by the goblins so easily. Never mind. Also, one of these lads here, young Claycree, or maybe not so young, who knows, he's a vampire. And traditionally, we've not ousted vampires from my fortresses. We've tried to use them and co-opt them into the fortress life. So what I'm thinking, excuse me, seeing as he's already in the military, I may spin off, as I've done before, a special vampire military unit, and instead of having them in this barracks, or the barracks below, we're going to go over here and we'll build some sort of monastic barracks for the vampires, and we'll keep them inside their monastic barrack until it is time to defend the fortress. But we will be giving them fantastic equipment and such, and we'll see if we can figure out some system whereby we can keep them healthy and well fed by feeding them, maybe a goblin or two. Maybe not a goblin. I don't know. Will they drain goblins of blood? I'm sure somebody in chat will let me know, but for now, I shall just let that hang in the air. Nice little question. I like that. Anyway, over here by the... Oh, hello, what's going on here? Oh, thank you very much, Rando. Much appreciated.
Zimzima who got the keys to my bimmer.
Who am I? Exactly. That, for anyone who doesn't know, is a lyric from a song by an artist called Beanie Man. You'll find it if you look for it. But I'm not sure you'll want to find it when you do. Let's have a little look here. This is the volcano tapping apparatus, the setup here. We've got a couple of floodgates with a switch down below near the workshops that are going to benefit from this magma. I have not yet flipped... we've got an order in here to flip it to see if it's connected. I'm not sure if we've connected it or not. If anyone knows of any way to check where levers are connected and stuff, that would be good. Is there a thing here? Do task now. Suspend, remove building. No, there's nothing there. If anyone knows about that. So anyway, that lever is going to go up to the floodgates here. We're going to tap these out here. We're going to channel down here and here. Let the magma flow up. Open the floodgates. Boom, boom, boom. Down the staircase. Tiddly widdly bosh into this little room here. Why did I say tiddly widdly bosh? That makes me sound very silly. And this is going to flood with magma. We're going to punch some holes in the workshop above and place ourselves some sweet, sweet magma forges. And finally, we'll get round to using all those steel bars we brought with us. Steel bars. That's a very odd way to pronounce it. Good old caffeine. Dear, oh dear. That would be awesome if you could stun captured things and feed them to vampires, Claycree. I think that would be good, but I think you could probably just make them go into an area, keep the vampires secluded, use some kind of airlocking floodgate system to keep them in a room, and then every now and again you just post someone to stand in a burrow that's inside the airlock, open up the doors, and oh dear, somebody has vanished. Oh, you might need to create some kind of labyrinth for the vampires to be out of eyesight for, but it seems like a feasible plan. It feels right. It feels right. Well, Vehemat, the magma flood hopefully will be avoided, because I'm intending to make sure, I'm going to check that these floodgates are hooked up, because if they're not, we don't want to see any of our lads vaporised. No siree. That would be a tragedy. An absolute, well, tragedy, really. There's no other word for it. I'm going to have to use it twice and sound like a complete idiot at the same time. So anyway, let's keep going down. What have we got? Oh, that isn't down, that's up. That's the temple complex where there's many of our gods being worshipped. This is the food zone, which is absolutely stuffed full because we've been buying quite a lot in from the traders, and I've recently managed to get my arse in gear and start gathering from the wildlands. I say the wildlands, it's just like a bit of ground outside, really. It's just some trees. A forest, if anything. What I was saying was quite aggrandizing, made it sound more than it was. Anyway, this is our food stockpile. Stills. We have some farms near the surface for doing plump helmets, but I haven't got those optimized. They're really not doing very well. I'm going to have to work on that. Excuse the ASMR beard scratching noises. I apologise. Here's our animal stockpile. We've got a few trolls. We've got a few goblins in here. Some caged llamas. Interesting. They should probably be sent to the... Here we go. Let's send them over here. Classic first recording session Cryptbeards this. It's just me musing to myself and gazing at menus and just doing a few tweaky bits. But don't worry, we'll get into the exciting stuff soon enough. Shift N, there we go. So, what animals do we have that are not yet in the grazing zone? Cat, dog, Gorlak, no. Stray puppy, no. Goblin. That's a goblin. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you very
Tiddly
much.
Whitley.
Tiddly Whitley indeed, Cora's Focus Twitch. But you've got to remember that you have to account for old text-to-speech guy's lack of enthusiasm. You can put the most uplifting things in chat and he will just turn them into a flat, dead statement. But that's okay. That's okay. That's what he does. We shouldn't really say anything about it. He might feel sensitive. He might be self-conscious about it. Oh, what have I done? Anyway, a stray groundhog. No, we're not going to free that. That's actually, you know what? I am going to free that. Let's see if it stays in the grazing zone. Troglodyte, troll, troglodyte, goose. No, that can go into the other area. Donkey. Yes, you can leave there. Alpaca, you can do that. Water buffalo. Holy shit, we bought a lot last time. Donkey, llama. Piglet, sure. Stray blue peachick. No, the birds don't go in here. The birds go elsewhere. Okay, so done. Let's go down to the food zone there. Let's say I. There we go. Pen pasture information. Let's put all the birds in. Cat, dog, Gorlak, puppy, goblin, buffalo, groundhog, jaguar. It sounds like the longest chain password in the world. Imagine asking for someone their Wi-Fi password and they're sitting there going, well, llama, alpaca, troglodyte, troll, troglodyte, goose, donkey, alpaca, water buffalo. It would be quite difficult to crack, I imagine. Goose. I missed the goose. There we go. I got the goose. Don't worry. And the gander. The goose and the gander. Hang on a minute. There's another goose. There we go. Peachicks. Why not? That looks like all the birds have been placed in there. It's not the biggest space in the world, to be honest, but we'll sort that out another time. We'll create a more friendly farm in the future. Here we have our industrial zone. Everything seems to be ticking along nicely. As ever, we are very, very low on furniture space because I've massively overproduced nearly everything I've made. Good. Well done, scoundrel. Very well done. We've connected up here. Once the magma's flowing, we can have our magma industries. And I don't think there's much else to talk about, really. Of course, there's the caverns. There's the cavern baffle. If someone doesn't know what a cavern baffle is, hopefully chat will fill you in, because I've explained it a number of times and I'm getting a little bit bored of it. Excuse me, snort, burp. Brilliant. Oh, helmet snake. We've seen barrels and barrels of venom for helmet snakes, or from helmet snakes, but I've never actually seen one. Amazing. Let's take a little look at the helmet snake. Hello, fella. Hello, fella. You gonna... How do I look at him? Z? Yes, here we go. A snake-like creature living deep underground. Its head is covered in armour so that it resembles the head of a dragon. Her scales are white, her eyes are black. I, of course, when I hear helmet snake, think of a willy. But, you know, Dwarf Fortress obviously doesn't see that. It's not that dirty. Oh, here's our hospital. We've made that. Chief Medical Dwarf Lanicerus will be leading a team of fine physicians, saving all the lives and stitching people up, which is going to be good. Who else have we got? Still haven't done the archery range, have I? Okay, we're unpausing. We've done the tour. It's only taken 10 minutes. Let's unpause and allow things to unfold. Also, let's have a little bit of volume on old sound sense. There we go. Is that a little bit too loud? Not too loud? Let me know how you feel about that. Oh, hello. What's that sound? Someone's grown up? Okay, someone's cancelled cutting yellow zircons, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Right, let's take a look at here. Will the lever get flipped? And in the process of its flippage, will we open those gates? If I go down to the lever, that's probably a better bet, isn't it? So we'll click on that. Give me that. Pull the lever. Do it now. Do it now. That's N. Bang. Okay, let's put this to high priority and see what happens. Is anybody going to come down and do it? Or are we not available for flipping switches, anybody? Doesn't seem like it. I'm just going to have to sit here and sip my coffee gently. Oh. Well, instead of sipping it, I decided to go for the gulp because it's gone stone cold. And obviously you want to get that over with as quick as possible. Might need to uncage them. No, when you put animals into the pasture, they automatically decage them. Oh, my goodness.
I have a dream, text-to-speech guy.
Okay, he didn't put it quite as flat before, but he was a bit too much urgency in his first part of his statement there. I have a dream. It's like the kind of thing you... Oh, hello, they flipped the switch. Let's go upstairs and see what happened. Oh, excellent. One of them has been connected, but not the lower. So, we go down again. Oh, there we go. We flip this switch because we can't have it so that they both turn off and on in alternating states. That would be a problem. So, pull the lever. Do it now. There we go. And we'll sit here talking. What was I talking about? Oh yes, text-to-speech guy. I have a dream. It's the kind of thing you would expect someone to say as their face gets a little bit too close to your face and their eyes get a little bit boggly. You know, that's the way I had it inflected to me. Inflected to me? That's the way I heard it. What the fuck am I talking about? My language skills are falling apart around me. What will I do? If I can't talk, well, what else can I do? Oh my goodness. You left the 2 flute sounds in, so if you get mass job cancellations, you're screwed. That's true, Rando. I never got round to actually doing the sound sense stuff that you so kindly put into the Discord. But there you go. Oh, someone's seeking an infant. That's not usually a good sign. Sometimes it's an indicator that there's about to be a lovely, wonderful, heartwarming fluff piece on the news about a family being reunited with a baby that's just wandered off for a little while. But more often than not, it usually involves finding a desiccated husk and everybody going on a right tantrum spiral. But who can blame them? Honestly, if my children dehydrated and I found their withered remains, I would be most upset. Excuse me. Let's link up the floodgate. F, there we go. Hit that one, and we're going to need to use something that is, what's name? You know, resistant to magma? Magma safe, that's the one. And basalt, I believe, fits the bill. So we'll get some basalt, and that's it. We will press escape, go back down, and wait for someone to come along with mechanisms to link it up to the lever. And then the sweet magma can flow. Oh, yes. Yeah, well, I mean, you can be forgiven for not knowing that, Claycree. Not being aware of the fact that you don't have to uncage animals is hardly the biggest blunder in the world, is it? I mean, Dwarf Fortress doesn't exactly open up like a flower and present you with the sweet nectar of gameplay. It kind of acts like a nutshell, and a Brazil nut at that. Not one that you can just crack with your teeth or perhaps in your hand. Something you really have to put a bit of leverage against. I mean, Dwarf Fortress, I mean, in this nut metaphor, surely is the hardest shelled nut. Which, I mean, is there such a grading? Do people measure the hardness of nutshells? If so, in what units? What units is nutshell hardness measured in? Because we need to know what the hardest nut is, the hardest nut to crack, and that is the metaphorical fortress nut, the dwarf fortress nut. Did any of that make sense at all? Because I feel like I may have just babbled quite incoherently. Although maybe not. Maybe there was some sense there. Maybe you managed to tease a few strands of coherence. But, yeah. Not for want of me trying to weave them into a tangled web. Okay, everyone's moving. This is good. I mean, I'm kind of futilely staring at the screen right now and seeing dwarves go up and down and not really seeing anywhere to intervene without breaking up the flow of what's already going on. I tell you what, while we wait for them to hook up this little lever, while we wait, does anybody want to go into Therapist and name some dwarves? Who hasn't got a dwarf named after them? I've really got to sort that cancellation thing out, haven't I? That noise is very irritating. Okay, we're going to take a risk. We're going to leave it running to get that lever sorted. And then we're going to go to Dwarf Therapist. We're just going to check... Hey, how are you doing? We're just going to check out what's going on with the nicknames. We have 23 nicknames currently. Those of you in chat who are still alive are Anubis, Blade, Buckshot Brigade, Diedrike, Filthy, Fuzzy Logic, Greg2, Heartbiter, who of course is not a chat member. That's actually a dwarf who bit someone's heart. So, you know, we had to name him. Itigawa... Itigiawa, Johnny5, hello, that's a YouTuber, hope you're enjoying it, excuse me, Kate the Great, Clay Cree, the Vampire, Liquid Samurai, Lanicerus, Nuka Citrus, Firehawk, Rando303, Sanctum, Science, Sir Carlo, The Hobo Hunted, my voice is going, Vehemat, and Virtual Spaceman. So if there's anybody in chat who has said, I'll just scroll up for a second. Rando wants to be the one to carve out the lava channel. Well, we'll see what happens. The last person involved in the Enterprise was, he went missing. And we're assuming he was vaporized because he fell into magma, but you can never tell these days. People just up and vanish. Vampires, werebeasts, volcano accidents, I mean, you name it. Every option's on the table. Vehemat's a farmer. Belug, you do not have a name in the fort yet. Not yes, you don't have a name in the fort yet. If you want one, then give me a sort of hint about the sort of dwarf you want, or you can just have a random pick. I'll quite happily pick one at random for you. The two flute sound mind-bending aqualung freakout. Macadamia nut is the hardest nut to crack, according to Serious Eats. That's interesting. Rices wants a dwarf. Anything in particular? Belug wants a random one. Okay, here's the no nickname area. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to scroll up and down for a second, and we're going to pick this dwarf here. Serol Katanomam, who is a professional child. Well, there you go. Hopefully, you won't be one of the ones we find withered and dead, lying out in the wilderness for some fucking reason. I don't know. Let's have a little look. Who was that? That was Belug. Belug the child. Very nice. Let's commit that. Who else have we got? Rices wants any no child will be fine. Okay, let's quickly close the eyes, do a random click. Who's that? Is that a child? It's not a child. It's currently someone watching a dodging demonstration. Dakost Bomrek Kasazir. Okay, no longer. Set nickname to Rices 009. Boom. And then we commit. Excellent. Excuse me, that little toot there probably came through on the microphone. I apologise, just be thankful you can't smell it. Excuse me. Nighty night, Rando, you get some rest. Have a good one. Okay, so that's everybody I think in chat who wants them. Let's go and see if they've fitted these little doodahs. No, still waiting. Okay, let's put it on a priority. Do it now, dwarves. Do it now. Oh dear, I haven't gone back over to the fortress. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Now you can see what's going on. So, once this is done, we'll be in a whole new world of amazing magma fun. Well, I say fun. Let's hope it's not the traditional kind of Dwarf Fortress fun where everybody dies. Let's hope it's something a little bit more light-hearted. Something with a little bit more levity. There's the industrial zone. Everyone toiling away, doing good stuff. We don't seem to have the stuff required to do the brewing I'm ordering, so that's a slight worry. Oh, heart meters cancelled the brew because they haven't got enough stuff. Okay. Needs plump helmet spawn. Okay, that's a problem. We've somehow got out of balance with our farming, although we do have plump helmets on the go. Look, plenty of them on the go. So there will be a harvest. We just have to slowly build up to the point where we have a nice backlog of spawn to be planted. Maybe we need to put more farms in. I really don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to farming or military matters, but I'm guessing that if we make everybody nice steel gear, it's going to be all right. We're going to survive. Right, have you done that yet? Jesus, come on, lads. Get a scoot on. What are you the guy? Have you come to do this? You don't appear to be carrying a mechanism. You appear to have some kind of stick on you. We'll see how it works out. Come on. You heading here? Oh no, it's a bar, isn't it? He's carrying some kind of bar to stash in the bar block stockpile. Oh, poo. Is it because we don't have the mechanisms? No, we must have the mechanisms. I put the order in. We've got mechanisms coming out of our ears. There we go. I nearly said arse, but I said ears because I wanted to go for something a little bit more family friendly. Although I probably should have thought about that before I started saying fuck all the time. I mean, that's certainly going to be a problem. Hopefully none of you have parents who've walked in right now and gasped, covering your eyes and ears somehow with their 4 hands and dragging you away from the screen in horror. Although if you're that young, maybe you shouldn't be watching anyway, to be honest. Although, of course, maybe you're not that young. Maybe you just have very overbearing parents and that you're a 40-year-old man-baby locked at home, unable to escape from the hold of their parents. I don't know. Who am I to even begin to guess? I mean, there's a whole internet between us. Oh, God. You know what? They do take a long time to do stuff, don't they? And we still got 51 frames a second. It isn't that bad. It's not like we've got no frames. Osmo, good lord. I'm not sure if it's an activity, or even a word. Ah, a new nest box has been dug. Well, in that case, let's put some nest boxes down. Build, capital N, there we go, lovely. Nest box? Nest box. Yeah, let's do that. Any more? Yep, we've got some more. Let's pop them in there. I'm just putting them in haphazardly because that's the kind of mind-bendingly annoying person I am. But we've run out of nest boxes. That's fine. That's fine. We definitely need to create a larger area for our birds. I mean, I don't think there's actually enough space for them all to have a nest box if they want to lay an egg. Which is a problem, of course. A big problem. We need those eggs. We want to get a good harvest. Is it a harvest or is it a gather? I don't know. I've never gathered eggs. Fresh from the cloaca. Still warm. As I'm sure nobody says. Right, has anybody hooked up these gates yet? Because, frankly, waiting for these gates to be hooked up is starting to become somewhat tedious. Come on, I've put a high priority call out on this. Somebody should be rushing down to the stockpiles, grabbing hold of a mechanism, getting their ass... Ooh, a human swordsman is dehydrated. Well, that's all right because, you know, not a dwarf. That's okay. We can all live with that. The booze situation seems to be getting a bit troublesome, though. We keep getting these cancellations around brewing and planting, which is not a good sign. You could put a manager order for rock pots or wood barrels to solve one of the flute warnings. Okay, let's do it. JMQ, rock pots or wood barrels. Let's go for rock pots. P-O-T... rock pot. How many do I want of those? Well, heavens. Let's go for 100. Let's go berserk. I like doing that. I like just putting ridiculous numbers in and having the dwarves churn stuff through. I mean, it does get them skilled up, so you trade out a lot of the job cancellation because I haven't got a pot orders for this masterwork has been crafted or this masterwork has been crafted. Okay, so we've got rock pots coming. It's all good. Some of those orders are going to be cancelled out, although I really do need to turn it off properly so we don't keep hearing that doodle, doodle, doodle. Although, hang on a minute, maybe if I go to Sound Sense, I can just turn the notification sounds off. Right, this should work. No, it's just the weather. Or is it? Are we getting notifications?
Autumn is at hand.
No, we're still getting notifications. Or are we? Let's see. Oh, Heartbiter's become an axe dwarf. Oh, they're all going into training, that's why. They've come out of their... No, we haven't turned off the sound effect. Brilliant. Maybe I should just go back to vanilla Dwarf Fortress sounds. That might make more sense for now. And we haven't heard the Dwarf Fortress vanilla music for quite some time. I mean, maybe I should give it a shake. You know what? I think I will, actually. Here we go. Let's... turn the volume down on Sound Sense. Scroll over on the soundbar to Dwarf Fortress and... Ah. Oh, I got a little bit early there, but never mind. Right, still not paused. Has this been connected up? Let's take a look down at the workshop floor and... Yeah! Ooh, I'm so excited. Let's press P, get that pulled now. Pull that fucking lever. Get off your ass. Okay, so here we go. We're up at the top. We should see these gates open any moment now when they pull the lever, because you all know how keen dwarves are to pull levers. Pull the lever. Pull the lever. You know what? We're going to turn this down. We're just going to have no sound, because frankly it's distracting me. The sound is diggling away in my ears, and just for a little while we're going to go for silence, because we need to be ready for this gate to open. We need to be prepared to properly celebrate. Come on. Pull the switch. Oh, don't tell me magma crabs have started fucking bowling around. Plus no magma crab. Nope. Maybe it was just a puff of steam. I'm not sure. Could have been an insect falling into the water for all we know. Come on, flip the lever. Yay! It's happened. Oh, yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, so let's go down. Let's go down. Here we go. We're going to flip that lever again so it's closed. Add, pull. Do it now. Good. Good, good, good. And then we go back up to the surface, and as soon as it's closed, we can start designating some channels. Oh, we're nearly there. Pulling levers, not even once in a year if I have to. Well, Riceless, you're a very lucky person there. I mean, lever pulling is not what you would call a rewarding job. I'm pretty sure it must get quite boring. Quite quickly as well. Come on. You can pull the lever. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. No, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure they can. Huh. Come on. Come on. Please, somebody. Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't even have it unpaused. What an idiot. I've been sitting here looking at a paused screen. Well, clever me. Hello, Cupo. Welcome back to the stream. Yet to get tired of pulling your lever. Ah, sweet, sweet innuendo. Ah, what a beautiful fragrance it makes. Come on. Flip that lever, close that floodgate, then we can start some digging. That's what it's all about. The diggy dig, diggy dig dig. Diggy dig, diggy diggy. You know what? We can probably start channeling already while we wait for it to close. Designate. We're going to make this priority number 1. We're going to channel, and we're going to channel there. Because that we can do without actually opening up the flow to the floodgate. And at least it'll get a miner down there. Hopefully he won't slip and fall. We should probably put a handrail in, but as Lord of the Rings has shown, dwarves are not noted for their handrail installation. In fact, if anything, they exist in a state of perpetual health and safety nightmare. You gonna do it? You gonna come down and dig? No one's flipping levers. Nobody's digging. What a bunch of dicks. Okay, let's hop down. Watch that lever. Come on, flip it off. There we go. He's flipped it off, and bosh, the floodgate closes. Dig. H, priority 1. Now we'll dig this one. There we go. Come on. Come on, we're almost there. We're almost there. That's it. We've got another one. Dig. H. There, the first breaching channel. Bosh. Yes. Dig. H. There. Oh my god, we're almost there. I mean, it's not the first volcano we've tapped, but it's the first volcano I've tapped in a while. Ah, look at that. The magma's all building up against the floodgates and looking pretty good. Okay, so now we do another lever switch. This is the best. There we go. Pull the lever. Do it immediately. Let's get that magma flowing. Bosh. Space, resume. Up to the surface, and then we can watch it start to flow down. Hopefully, we've actually got enough depth on the surface here, because these 6s and 7s are all the magma sloshing around. Hopefully it will refill from below, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Come on. Let's watch as it flips the old... oh, hello. We had a moment of loading. But Dwarf Fortress was only thinking about it. It wasn't actually going to do anything crazy. Come on. Firehawk's making some fantastic masterpiece barrels, which will no doubt fetch a high price when traded. Excuse me sniffling. Here comes a miner with a cart. And what, pray tell, dear miner, are you fetching with your cart? Perhaps you could tell me. Do not go down into the... Pause. Okay, here's an important thing that we have forgotten to do. Go down one floor, designate B and forbid. And we need to forbid all this crap, because otherwise people are going to come down and try to take it. There we go. So let's go back up to the surface and see if that has cooled his passion for subterranean delvings. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's a flip order on that switch! Oh, hell, there's a load of stuff. Excuse me. D, B, F for forbid. Let's do the whole stairwell. Bang, bang. Up, 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 up. And one more for luck. Bang. Go down. Oh, thank God he's out. He left the thing down there, but to be honest, it's not that bad. Who was that? Who was that crazy guy? It was Rando. Of course it was you, Rando. Of course it was you. Anyway, those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much for doing so. But I'm going to stop the recording now. It's been half an hour. Bye. See you in the next one. Bye.